Initially, it wasn't a passion. It was my mom's passion because she is a trained Bharatanatyam dancer. And so when I was a kid, I started learning Kathak. So I learned Kathak for about 5 years, during which I cleared a lot of certifications. And I also gave a program on national TV. In those days, that was the channel called Doordarshan. So it was telecast on that channel, and it was telecast during the festival of Dashera. So one of those days when I was wearing my new clothes, and somebody told me that you are on TV. So that was a big thing for a 8-year-old. So that is a very fond memory which I have of myself back then. So that would be the advice which I would give myself and maybe all my young friends like you, that enjoy life and take it at its own pace. Life happens only once, and you just need to live it to the fullest.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the second episode of Celebrating Us, a virtual chit chat session with NCG. And today we have one of our leaders, Lata ma'am, with us. She works in HR here at NCG. And ma'am, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. My name is Lata, and I work for NCG, and I've been here for the last 9 years. And I take care of HR, and basically this gives me a chance to speak to all my colleagues and friends day in and day out.
Welcome, ma'am. Thank you for talking to me today. And I remember you from the orientation that our company had. And I wanted to ask, what I remember from there is that you dance and you sing. Is that so?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what forms of dance, ma'am?
So when I was a kid, I started learning Kathak. So I learned Kathak for about 5 years, during which I cleared a lot of certifications. And I also gave a program on national TV. In those days, that was the channel called Doordarshan. So it was telecast on that channel, and it was telecast during the festival of Dashera. I still remember that because that was I belong to a place called Jamshedpur, so I was born and brought up there. So in that part of the country, Dashera is a very, very big festival. So it is also called as Durga Puja. So one of those days when I was wearing my new clothes, and somebody told me that you are on TV. So that was a big thing for a 8-year-old. So that is a very fond memory which I have of myself from back then. So Kathak was my very first form of dance which I learned. And then very briefly I had learned Bharatanatyam, but I couldn't pursue it further. And then as a passion, and just to try whether I can, I had joined the Shamak School of Performing Arts. So I was a student there for about 1.5 2 years. So that was a different learning altogether. And then obviously you have the dance of life.
So since your working field is completely different now, did you ever want to be a professional dancer, or how did you transcend into HR?
So initially it wasn't a passion. It was my mom's passion because she is a trained Bharatanatyam dancer. And she used to learn with, if you know somebody called Shobha Naidu. I think she's a very proponent of Bharatanatyam. So she used to learn with her. So she left her dream halfway. So she always wanted me to fulfill her dream. But unfortunately, I did not have a passion for dance. But then I realized that passion releases, the pressure. Passion gives you a joy, which very few of the arts of life might be giving you. Or because I'm ignorant, I definitely feel that dance is an instant joy to me. It gives me instant joy and happiness the moment I start dancing. Yes, there are times when I dance okay, and there are some times when I just go with the flow and do whatever my heart says.
I think I fall into the second category of doing whatever.
Yeah, doesn't make a difference, as if the world didn't exist. So yeah, and similarly, HR also started off as a profession.
Hmm.
Wasn't a passion for me, but then over a period of time, when you start understanding your profession and then you start enjoying it, is when it slowly becomes into your passion. So today, if I were to reflect, if I could do any other profession with equal elegance and grace, maybe not. But then I'm so grateful that I am into the field of HR, where I get a chance to learn every single day. When I was doing my MBA, at that point of time, getting a campus placement was a big thing, for us. So when the initial set of campus placement companies were coming in for interviews, they were only hiring for marketing jobs, and I was like, I don't fit in there, so what do I do? And halfway through, I started feeling that maybe I'll not get a job, and I would be at home and others would get a job, and it would mean maybe that I was not good enough to get a job, and all kinds of self-doubt start. And then a few of us marched to our placement officer's cabin, and we asked him, what is it like, what is going to happen for HR and the other functions and all of it. So he said, just hold on, there would be more companies coming in and all of it. So by then there was an interview which was outside but not from the campus, which was a fiasco, to put it very mildly, because of certain reactions from the interviewer. So that was junked immediately, and then I started having second thoughts whether I should actually do a job, or maybe the world is not so good. And this company called GE walk into our campus, and in those days it was called Jekis and not Genpact. So when Jekis came into our campus, it was like, oh my God, Jekis, and that was the boom when MNCs were coming in, and then the BPO industry or the KPO or whatever you would call it, that industry was booming. So it was a big deal actually, like the capital coming in, and all people speaking fantastic English, and really ready, and looking very well put together. So it was an experience, no doubt, and that was the first when we actually implemented a few of our learnings from MBA there, whether it was with respect to the group discussion, or when we were told, this is how you should present yourself, this is how you should introduce yourself in your business communication classes. That is when we put that to use. So that was an experience itself. So, and that was the day then when I wasn't even sure whether I should open my mouth and ask any question with respect to the job or the role or the offer. And now is the time when I feel I only have questions and questions and questions. So yes, it has been a fantastic journey, no doubt. Every aspect of life counts towards your experience called life. So I'm grateful for each of these aspects which have been part of my life, and they have made me what I am today. Currently, I am in the process of learning Kannada more, since I've been here for 15 years. So I speak that with my husband and kid a lot, so that all of us, become really good at it. Since we stay here, we should know the language. So that's the current passion for me, learning languages.
So, ma'am, out of all the places that you have lived in, which one happens to be your favorite?
Jamshedpur was part of a state called Bihar then, which later had become Jharkhand. So I would still think that that is one of the most fondest places when I remember. Firstly, maybe because we had a colony life, we had a lot of friends, all of us a similar school, and similar kind of upbringing, and the same kind of facilities for all of us. So it brought in a lot of equality, and the way you thought and the way you approach things were also very similar. So I think the bonding was really good over there because of that. And it was a very quiet life, unlike today's city life where you're always running and you've always got a watch around your neck and you're just looking at it and running and running and running. So we had a very peaceful life where we had the small joys of life, where we walked in puddles during rains, and we had the bread wala come every evening and do paw and tell us that the fresh baked products are here, and you go down and pick them up. Or the newspaper guy throwing the newspaper from the ground floor, and we used to stay on the third floor up there, and we trying to catch him. So those were the days, and I still remember. Maybe the child in us really came out then, with all things which today's kids have not the privilege of enjoying, I guess.
Yeah, that is great. So Jamshedpur. Okay. So since you're working from home, I was wondering, do you miss going to office and maybe while coming back taking a detour, grabbing your favorite snack and just walking out? Or what are the things that you like about working from home, if any?
So I'm a person who makes the best of any situation. So it was going to the office or whether it is working from home, either ways it's good. I'll tell you some of the examples. So earlier when we had the office in Indranagar, which is one of the CBD areas of Bangalore, so it was like the center of the city, right? So you had a lot of offices around, you had a lot of shops around, you had a lot of eateries around, you've got a lot of pubs around. So you name it, and everything is within walking distance or max at a kilometer range of 1 or 2. So it was a joy and a thrill going to office, because all of a sudden there used to be plans like, chalo, we'll have golgappa. Chalo, we'll have an ice cream, those kind of joys, small joys of life, where you just walk across the road and have something and you just come back, or, you just Swiggy something, it would be very easy, or just plan for team lunches and just walk out any particular day. So that was a very good thing. Now working from home also is equally joyous, because we sit at home, and at times like you want to feel good all the time, right? Because you're missing out on the fact of going out and looking at people and talking to people and all of it. So your mind focuses more on food. So all the time when you have nothing to do, you just switch on the Swiggy app and look what's good to eat, or you just when the cook comes in, you just get things made, and you enjoy that even better, because you're sitting at home and in the luxury of your home, and you enjoy it. Even the chai when you drink at home, I think it gives you a different taste compared to what you have outside. So I'm enjoying this phase as well.
It is very comforting to hear, and I wanted to ask you, since you are an experienced working professional, are there any lessons that you have learned today which you would want to share with your younger self, or through your journey? Are there anything that you would want to share today with us?
Okay, so I am a person who is very, very particular and meticulous about things. So if I were to see my kid's slipper out of place, also I used to get all worked up, and like, how can you leave it here? You have to keep it in the place, and that kind of a thing, maybe bordering on OCD. So now is the time when I'm like, okay, they've left it here. Okay, I can either put it back in its place, or wait till the next morning for the maid to come and do that, or simply ignore. So I have and I think this has eased a lot of stress or unnecessary tension, which I used to take for smaller things which had no significance. So that would be the advice. If I would have realized this earlier, maybe I would have been a more relaxed person, or maybe I would have had more time to myself. See, over a period of time, what happens is, when you get caught in the rigmarole of things, you start ignoring yourself, especially in the Indian scenario where, the mothers are supposed to take care of everything, or the wife is supposed to take care of everything. You stop living for yourself. So during this pandemic, it made me realize that, it is very important to love yourself. Because until unless you love yourself, you would not be able to love anyone else, for that matter, or for to that extent, for that matter. So this 2 years has made me, love myself more, whether it is physically or mentally or spiritually, for that matter. So I think I have become. This pandemic obviously was a learning experience for all of us. But just that the learnings could have been different to different people. So that would be the advice which I would give myself and maybe all my young friends like you, that enjoy life and take it at its own pace. Life happens only once, and you just need to live it to the fullest.
I think I really needed to hear that, and this is a beautiful takeaway that I'm gonna take from this conversation, which is to be easy on yourself and love yourself. So thank you for sharing that with me and with all of us. Thank you for giving your time, and I hope to have more such conversations with you in the future, and hoping to learn and work with you more. And thank you.
Definitely, thank you. I was really nervous coming on to this conversation today because I've always worked in the background. When you are in this field, you are more concerned about taking care of others. So it was really nice to come and talk to you. And I think this is the first time I've spoken so much about myself.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.